So we're looking at some Q&A here for the new Battletech players. Truly the golden age, not only with the source materials being re-released, but the various miniatures, the catalyst plastics, the Ironwind metals, and that's before we even get into the awesomeness that is 3D printing. This overwhelming wave of jumping into Battletech. Now, when you combine that with being a miniature wargaming enthusiast like me, you just go all in. Right? You're going to start out, look, I'm just going to get the game of Armored Combat. I'm going to try it out for a little bit, and we're going to go from there. And that's what you tell yourself. But then you check out some other mechs. Then you see these mechs. Then you see this. And then next thing you know, there's this massive, massive wave of mechs. And you're wondering, where do I start? And that's what I wanted to look at in this vlog. If you're brand new to Battletech, you've flipped through the rules, you've watched some videos, you're staring at your pile of mechs, or you have access to a ton of mechs, and you want to jump in. Now, the goal here is to gain a working proficiency of the game as quickly as possible, in my mind. You're never going to memorize all the rules right up front, if ever, I should say. You're going to need to reference the rule book. You're going to make mistakes and get things wrong. But we want to get you to a place where you're able to understand the game, understand the flow of the game, and start making some tactical decisions. And likewise, from my perspective, this idea of player personality, where for whatever reason, we all have certain play styles, certain mechs, certain lances that we enjoy playing. That unlock is so important because that elevates the joy of the game. And that's not to say you're not going to play other lances, but navigating that perspective. So looking back, when I started Battletech, and I said, look, for this vlog, we're gonna really try to focus on one thing for like the next 3 or 4 or 5 games. So for your next 5 games, what is the goal? What are you going to play? How can we accelerate that curve, cut down that learning curve? My thought was 3 mediums, 3 by 3. 3 medium mechs versus 3 medium mechs. And this is my thought process for it. And of course, veteran Battletech players will have a perspective also to try and get us jumping into the game here. Let's not worry about lances right now. Let's not worry about 4 mechs. Let's not worry about that you're playing all the same mech. We're just putting that aside for a moment. The reason why I say 3 mediums is it hits every checkpoint. Pick any hex map. Randomly picks a hex map. It hits every single point of the game that you want to be introduced to, that you just want to begin to facilitate a working knowledge. 3 medium mechs means you're going to be playing with initiative, and initiative is going to be important because every turn with 3 mechs, 1 mech is going to be on the end of the scale, meaning your opponent is going to move all their toys, and then you're going to be forced in that last move to move yours. That might be at a disadvantage. It's going to show you really fast, wow, initiative is important. And it's not to say that if you lose initiative, you can't recover and you're going to be in trouble, but it's going to force you to tactically deal with the question. If you deal with one-on-one mechs, say like a grinder type thing, pick a mech, send it out, and we fight one-on-one, initiative is just kind of back and forth. Yes, if you lose it, you go last, but there are not these other mechs. There's not these other machines you have to worry about. So 3 mechs introduces you really fast to initiative. 3 mechs, also medium mechs. Heavies is a slugfest. Lights is a different aspect of the game. And of course, you're going to get to that. Medium mechs give you a nice blend of firepower and armor. Not that we ever want to take a hit, but you can take a couple of hits from other medium mechs and begin to see the effects of damage. Begin to see, wow, I took a lot of hits on my left side. It's starting to go weak and maybe go to internals. I got to protect this left side. How do I do it? It allows you to fire back and forth. It allows you to make some mistakes and still recover. When you include heavy mechs, so let's say we take the Marauder or Assault mechs, the Awesome, those PPCs, or the Warhammer, those PPCs, Battlemaster, things like that, or the Archer with the LRM-20s, they will chew through really, really fast and cripple you really, really fast, which is expected. They're heavies in their assaults. But mediums will let you fire back and forth, send out some damage, and take some damage. The other reason why I say mediums is you have a mix of weaponry, depending on the mediums in your collection that you play. This mix of weaponry is going to allow you, like look at the Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk's going to allow you to engage at range, long range. It's going to allow you to have some medium and some short range firepower. So you're going to learn the modifiers. You're going to learn the positioning. You're going to learn if you have to withdraw, laying down some long range firepower. You're going to learn if you have to close. Mediums give you enough weapons that you can begin to navigate this. Playing just lights, okay, I fired my medium laser. Next, if we move to heavies and assaults, you got PPCs, you got LRMs, you got lasers, like you got tons and tons of stuff. And that tons and tons of stuff is a lot of fun, absolutely. But again, mediums 3x3 is that sweet spot. You also have speed. You're not so fast like a light mech, but you're not so slow like a heavy or an assault mech. What this means here is you can get out of a spot if you're in trouble, but you also will begin to understand that you can't be everywhere at once. You can't just zip out of there like a light, but you're not ponderous like a heavy or an assault. So you learn tactical positioning. You learn to look and say, okay, here's where I am this turn. Where do I need to be next turn? Or even the turn after that. So 3x3, I would select 3 light mechs, and you could do this with battle value, or if you're willing to sliding scale, if you're willing to be a sliding scale with what you have in your collection, randomly pick three medium mechs. Randomly pick 3 medium mechs. Put them down, play them. I would do that for 5 games. Just go head to head. Just go head to head, 5 games or so. See what you can do. It'll play very, very fast. Enjoy the game. Look at the different phases. Look at the different turns. And that will position you, again, hitting up all the rules, learning about ranges, learning about firing arcs, learning about armor, learning about speed, learning about initiative, learning about heat, because you'll have to watch heat. You'll generate heat. It won't be so overpowering like heavies and assaults, but it won't be something that you have to totally you don't have to worry about, like a light mech. Like, yeah, there's this thing heat, but I don't have to worry about it. Although some lights can and do generate significant heat. It'll put you in a place to navigate and manage all of these components, which will then play over once you really, really start to super scale and size your games.